Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I hope you're having a beautiful day today. And if you are not, I hope it gets better from here. So I'm going to get started real fast with the channeled messages. It's a lot, so bear with me here. We have two songs for today. You Would Wait by Kino Carey and Seven featuring Lato or Lato. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that. By Jungkook and Lato, or Lato, again, not sure how to pronounce that. And for numbers, I got 0505, 811, 911, 511, 111, 1111, 2222, 333, 777. And I also got someone here could have gotten paid early or gotten money they weren't expecting. You could be feeling watched at this time. You could have seen rainbows nearby. The Rocky Mountains may be important to you, whether you're from a place where the Rocky Mountains are or what have you. You could have brown hair, blue eyes, and I also got the names Tiffany and Tracy, and I also heard activation. So let's see what this is about. I'm going to go ahead and roll these dice to get what house and what astrological signs this reading will be in for today. Hello, everyone. We have the number 6 for health and daily routines. Interesting. And for the sign, we have 5 for Leo. Leo in the house of health and daily routines. Interesting. With the songs that I got, I was totally getting a love vibe from here. So that's a very interesting thing to get. But let's dig deep. Let's find out further. Hello, everybody. Get some runes to get some more details because I was for sure like, this has got to be a love reading. But I could see how daily routines could impact that because I got heavy manifestation going on here. And all the numbers that I got, it's like fulfillment of wishes, fresh starts, visualizing of your life, a better future coming in, being aware of your persistent thoughts, new beginnings, alignment and balance, encouragement and assistance, and rewards for heeding guidance. So, feeling these. We have 4. I'm not used to getting 4. So let's see. We have Fehu here for wealth and luck. Oh, I'm already digging this. We have Othala for legacy and ancestors. We have as well Thurisas for defense, so protection. And then we have Raidho here for journey. Oh, interesting. A journey towards wealth and abundance, some type of legacy. And there's like a defense here. Interesting. Okay, let's get into charms. I need more details because, again, this is already starting out really, really interesting. Hello, hi. If you like runes, I highly recommend looking into those. They're actually super pretty. And these are, if you ever do get them in wood. That is the original way to do it. Thank you. Let's get into charms. Tell me more because we're all nosy. Oh, I just realized these kind of spell prof. You could be a professor or someone who teaches, or you could just listen to prof. Okay. Charms. I'm just looking away from them because they're in like an open thing and I don't want to influence it. So we have these 3 here. We have the angels here, so like ancestors. Interesting. We have this here, which is the cosmos or spiral. Don't mind my nails. I'm getting them done like the day after tomorrow. So we have the spiral here, and the spiral can often talk about like negative spiral think. And we also have the crystal ball for intuition and guidance. So intuitive guidance. That's so cool that spells prof. Here, I'll show you. That's so cool. But the health and daily routines in Leo. It's kind of like working on your inner confidence. See? Prof. Isn't that interesting? So that's what we have. So let's see. Let's dig into the tarot. I was feeling the Rider-Waite tarot today. Since today is the day of Mercury, so blues and greens work really well. And that just feels like the original tarot. So yeah, someone could definitely be a professor. And where did it go? There it is. Yes, so this beautiful, beautiful deck, the original one. So let's find out what's going on with the collective today. What do they need to know? I know it's kind of late, but I have been busy prepping for the holiday tomorrow. Happy early Thanksgiving to everybody who celebrates it. If not, happy Thursday. Happy early Thursday. Happy early Jupiter day. So yeah, there's like an energy of manifestation here and working on. Leo's all about self-confidence and inner child work, so that may be something that you're doing at this time as well. But you're definitely about to get some sort of reward for it, because I had 777 show up here, which is a highly spiritual number, and it's a reward for heeding the guidance of your ancestors. So let's see. What's going on with the collective at this time? Tell me about what's happening here. 1, 2, 3 just popped up for progression and steps. So you are making progression in this manifestation. I have this feeling of somebody who has like a manifestation journal. So you may be scripting, writing down what you want, and kind of setting it and forgetting it. What's going on with the collective at this time? Tell me about this situation that you popped into my head. You may also be a night owl, because when I first started channeling these messages, it was at 5 o'clock in the morning. Welcome back, Lala Gator. Hello. I'm so happy to see when you guys come right on back over here. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's open up here. Being a little shy. Open up. Let us in. You tuned into the reading. You want answers. Open up. Tell me more, Spirit. Oh, you may be called to be kind of private about whatever this is. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. 1592211. Interesting. I'm not a professional astrologist, so I take her word for it. Let's see. Oh, okay. This may be, we may be trying to bring in some financial stability at this time. That's so funny. What I got from all this, I thought for sure this was going to be a love reading. Maybe we're not focused on it at this time, but there's an undercurrent there of that. We'll see. We'll see what the cards have to say today. Yeah, 2, 1, 3, 4. Interesting. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your likes, your comments, just for your time and your attention, really. I know that we're preparing for the holidays, or most of us anyway, so any of your time is really, really important, and I know it's very precious. If the cards will talk today. What's going on with the collective today? I see flipped over cards, so there's like something that wants to come out, but we're being a little shy, being a little quiet. What's happening? There we go. Oh, we're indecisive. Oh, what is this? What's happening here? Oh, okay. All right. Hello. Whenever I see cards sideways like this, right, that usually tells me it can go either or. It can either be in the upright, right, which often talks about choices, decisions needing to be made, but we're not necessarily sure which one is the best choice. We have 2 specific choices to make. Swords represent thoughts and words within the tarot. So there are two things. We're not sure what will happen depending on which one we take. There's a moon here, which often talks about things being unclear. So maybe not being necessarily sure which option to choose or being able to see what the future is depending on the choice. There's a ton of blue here as well, which often pertains to the throat chakra, self-expression, getting words out, being true to your, like, what you really want. And then she's sitting right in front of the ocean, and water in tarot represents emotions, feelings, matters of the heart. So whatever this is, it's a very big decision. And because her eyes are covered by this blindfold, we're not necessarily sure what the right choice is. In the reversed, that talks about indecision. So being unable to choose. That would be the I don't want to make the wrong choice, so I don't make a choice. You know what I mean? So we're kind of in this in-between energy at this time of choosing something. But I see here, right, there's an energy of leaving behind something we've put a lot of time, effort, and care into and heading towards our actual happiness. These cards are literally one after the other. So that's very, very interesting. But what is the choice? Actually, I want to know what the choice is. What are the two choices that this collective has to choose between? Can you tell me, please, Spirit? Oh, my Lord. Well, they gave me more than two options, but the two upright ones are the Ace of Wands and Strength. So what I get from this, the Ace of Wands is new motivation, new inspiration, like going after something that really lights a fire within your soul, within your heart, versus it's like quieting it down. So there's like something that lights the fire within, but we feel this need to suppress it. And I want to know what these two cards that came here underneath, like face down. Oh, I see. So if I look at it this way, and I pair it with the ones that just came upright, right? We have the Four of Cups in reversed, leaving behind boredom and heavy dissatisfaction with our life, right? This would be the reversed Four of Cups means being satisfied in your life, right? Whereas the upright would be dissatisfaction, boredom, things like that. Like we're looking at what we currently have and we're bored with it, even though we're not paying attention to this new cup that's being offered. In the reversed, that means the opposite. What drives us? What will bring that extra spice into our life? Versus the Strength card here, paired with the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups talks about choices. All these choices. But they all, like, you can't really tell which one's a good one and which one's a bad one, right? I know that in this specific card, it showcases a bunch. And obviously you'd be like, well, the snake probably isn't a good option, right? Unless you like snakes, then you know you best, right? But there are some that you're like, that could be really bad and it could be really good. So it's kind of like a trying to choose between what lights us up and being worried we might make the wrong choice. Because Strength also talks about quieting your inner shadow side, the inner bully, the thing that keeps you safe. So they're the ones that are like, what if that choice is bad? What if it doesn't work out? Right? And you tell it to shut up and you close its mouth. Shh. You know? So that's very interesting because it's like we're trying to make a choice and we're fighting back this more primal side that sees everything as a problem. Yeah. So we're trying to just figure that out. Okay, so that's our choices currently, is like fighting back that inner worry and doubt about going after these choices and going after that specific thing that's supposed to bring the color back into your life. Okay. Yeah, and this would require, so going after this thing that brings a lot of spice into your life, this excitement, this fun energy, this new wave of motivation, will require you to leave something behind. So I can understand this pensive nature of being like, ooh, is this a good choice? because it will require, your new life will cost you your old one, is usually how that saying goes. So tell me more, Spirit. Page of Swords. Oh yeah, we don't know enough. We're trying to get more research about this. The Page of Swords talks about learning, right? Again, swords is all about thoughts and words, right? It can also talk about like harsh communication, but here this tells me that we're a bit guarded on this, again, because we don't have enough information. So we're trying to find some information on it to see which choice will pan out for the better here. And again, this is in the house of health and daily routine in the sign of Leo. And Leo is all about inner child healing, self-confidence, like big, big happiness vibes. So whatever this is will directly affect our everyday mental state. Tell me more, please, Spirit. Lots of blue and yellow. So again, that heavy expression and inner confidence. So this is very important. And that charm from earlier, that spiral thinking, is definitely, a journey towards legacy and abundance. And there's defense here. Yeah, like we're trying to protect ourselves from making a wrong choice. And sometimes that energy can be overly protected, which can be harmful towards bringing that in. So tell me more, Spirit. Oh yeah, that magician in the sideways. I said we had this manifesting energy of we're trying to call in this really good future, right? The magician in tarot has all the resources that he needs. He has the feelings, the heart behind what we want, the resources. So anything in his material realm, the thoughts, processes, and the way that they speak, and then the motivation and the desire to go for it. So we're in that sideways. We're trying to choose. We want to manifest that the best possible choice. Yeah, that wake-up call. Yeah, this is kind of a moment in time where this is the wake-up call. We're trying to choose, but we're going back and forth on whether or not we'll actually pick the right thing. I see. Tell me more. So much blue and yellow here. Interesting. Tell me more, Spirit. Like, this is definitely giving a lot of, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, and again, that sideways. So that magician. So yeah, this specific choice, there's a lot of pressure here to pick the right one. And because of that, that's kind of getting in the way of our manifestations. Because we may not even realize that we'll be good no matter what we choose, because we're the manifester. Life doesn't happen to us, it happens for us. We decide where it goes. Yeah, and that directly impacts our luck. Because if we say, I'm picking wrong, and we pick wrong, we manifest the wrong. If I pick right, like no matter what I choose, I'll get there in the end. We manifest better things. So that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, Spirit's here to do a wake-up call, because they're like, you're getting in your own way, friend. And I know no one wants to hear that. But 111, yeah. And 123. You are working on this. So it seems like you have some sort of awareness of manifestation practices. So you are aware of trying to call this in. We're just at this point where we're kind of hitting those little setbacks and those little roadblocks, the little hiccups along the way that come up, the shadow side. The part that goes, but we don't know what's happening over there, and because we don't know, it's scary. That Page of Cups, yeah. Going after that creativity, right? It's the Page of Cups is all about new creative ventures. Yeah, they're a little ridiculous. They're a little out there. It's kind of like, it's like when you really want something, but it's absolutely ridiculous, or everyone says it's ridiculous, right? So you're not entirely sure if you should go for it. That's kind of where we're at right now. Is there's a fish in a cup, and we're kind of like, I should definitely go with this fish in the cup. Yeah, fish represent intuition. That's so funny. It's like, I should go after my intuition, and we got intuition here, right? I should go after my intuition. I should follow my intuition, but it feels crazy. It feels crazy. It's the crazy option. It's not stable. It seems like it's not stable. Yeah, that's the truth with the Ace of Swords there. It feels like it wouldn't be stable. It feels like, no, I shouldn't do that. That what if I'm just delusional? What if I'm crazy? Yeah, it's that kind of thing. What if I'm being unrealistic? What if I'm being too out there, too woo-woo? You know? Oh, I see. And that happens for everybody. Yeah, that happens for everyone who like wakes up and actually starts pursuing what they want. Yes. Because that will come up. That will be the old modalities of our life. They're like, and they'll try to keep you in the old comfortable ways because that's familiar. Because at least if you're suffering in the familiar, it's familiar. You already know the song and dance. In the new, you don't even know what you would come across, and that's terrifying. That's how humans have evolved. We don't like new threats. We prefer the ones we know how to deal with. But that just kind of keeps you stuck in the same old. Yeah, more of that intuition. So I'm telling you again, we're looking at that intuitive choice. We're looking at the fish in the cup with the intuition, and going, should I, shouldn't I, should I? It really made, like, this option seems too good to be true. It seems like it would bring so much love and light into my life. It seems like it would be the thing that brings all this joy, that would just make my life more exciting. And then, that little lion speaks up. Yeah, but remember the last time we followed our heart and it got us burned? And you're like, shh. Ooh, that inner conflict. Remember the last time we followed our heart's choice and it led to a whole bunch of nonsense and it got really messy? No. That was that specific occurrence. Not every new venture is going to end that way, and I shouldn't look at it that way, So it definitely feels like you're someone who has definitely looked into this type of thing. We're much more self-aware. So you are aware of how this works and are trying to go through this process. Yeah, you could be someone who visualizes a lot, but I definitely, like I said, I got a ton of manifestation practices. So someone who's definitely aware of manifestation and is actively working towards it day by day. But we just hit a little snag. What else, Spirit, before I move into the next part? Yep, I saw that. We're working hard. We're working hard on it. You've been working hard on it. You have been actively working hard on your little manifestations. Even if you're someone who doesn't necessarily follow manifestation, perhaps, you're definitely someone who has a goal, you know what you want, and you put in the effort towards it every single day, right? You put in consistent effort, right? But there's something here that you're like, that's not on the plan. Ooh, but it looks like it could be a really good venture to go into. Yeah, I have the devil here in the sideways. Let me censor them real quick because they're navy. The Rider-Waite Tarot is, they got all their bits and bobs out, so, and the internet's not cool with that kind of stuff. So yeah, the devil here talks about, let me make sure they're not showing off. The devil here talks about, it's not the literal devil, right? But it talks about our shadow side. Again, that lion. It talks about addictions, vices, and the shadow side. So that would definitely be the shadow aspects of a person. So that, but it ended really badly for us before. So what if it does it again, right? Yeah, kind of those little inner lies we tell ourselves. It's a form of strategy in order to keep us safe, right? Oh, but the last time this happened, the last time we went after the thing that looked good on paper, it ended up being a total mess. The last time we entered that relationship with that person, it really didn't go well. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. But I see that's in the sideways. So again, when I see stuff in the sideways, when it's sideways like that, that often tells me that we are going back and forth here. It can go either way, right? So that's something we're actively working on. Then we are actively working on our shadow side, our self-sabotage practices who pop up and try to keep us in the familiar, right? So we're actively working on the, ooh, but what if it doesn't pan out? What if it's the wrong choice? What if I somehow mess up my legacy, my future by picking this direction? Yeah, it's kind of like you're worried that you're going to sabotage yourself, and you're not necessarily aware that you're sabotaging yourself by being worried you're going to sabotage yourself. You following me? It's silly, but every human does it. Every single one of us does this. Because at some point we either were burned by somebody or were warned by people who go, are you sure? Are you sure though? You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. And maybe not even with malicious intent. You know, people often project and they don't actually mean to hinder you. They try to keep you safe, but, you know, sometimes that can also hinder you in a way because it makes you second guess yourself. Yeah, the Ace of Cups in the reverse. Yeah. It means that you don't go after those things that bring a lot of emotional fulfillment and love into your life. Because you're like, ooh, you kind of hold back. You hold back or you block it out and the cup goes away. Because it's like it's being brought in, this little fish cup. This little fish cup is a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift from the divine, and they want you to take it. But we're blocking it. We're blocking it because we're not sure. Yes. Yeah, we're not sure, and that's causing our plans to be delayed and for us to keep internalizing that pain. Oh no. Oh no. That's okay. You're getting there. I see you're working on this, and that's great. We're just in that little bit of in between at this time. So, I want to move into the why you need me specifically to tell you about this, because I know that you know that you're dealing with this kind of like, I can't choose currently, so I'm going back and forth. So why do you need me to tell you this? Why? Who wants to talk today? I am feeling Egyptian tarot, interestingly enough. Yeah, being human is an interesting experience. Free will really messes us up, doesn't it? Oh gosh, the pressure of choosing. Not realizing that all of our choices will get us where we need to go. Sometimes it just takes a little bit longer, a little bit more of a scenic route. Hi, buddy. Go show daddy your cards. Oh, thank you. I've been anointed with a tiny tarot deck. I got activation earlier. Oh, and that was green. So there you guys go. You got a little bit of a tiny human activating your little crown chakra with that green here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, you would actually be right. Your human self, we forget. Our spiritual self is up there. It knows everything we want to do. It knows everything we want to do, but it knows we have free will because that's the choice, right? But when we become human, we forget. That's the whole point. We choose to forget, but we forget. So we kind of just, I think it's fun for our spiritual selves, really, because it's like a game. You know how like you play The Sims? Someone here could play The Sims. Goodness gracious, what on earth? You know how you play The Sims and you're like telling them exactly what to do, but the Sim starts panicking and doing their own thing? It's kind of like that. I like to think of it that way. Is that our spiritual selves are playing The Sims and we're the little humans yelling because there's a chair in the way, and you're like, just go around just go around the chair. What are you doing? And for all you out there who would do messed up stuff with your Sims. I don't know what to tell you. Your spiritual self has a sense of humor. So, why do you need me to tell you this at this time? Why do you need me to tell you this at this time? Why do they need to know this at this time? He's like, I'm pretty sure you're aware. But I do see that you're kind of back and forth, and there's a little judgment call. Maybe Spirit needs you to recognize that you're self-sabotaging. Let's see. Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah, we're dropping everything all over the place. You could be clumsy or just really scatterbrained. This could be stressing you out. Oh, that's funny. That's so funny. Why do they need to know this at this time, Spirit? And don't be shy. They want to hear it. They want to know. Why do they want to hear this at this time? Why do they need to hear this at this time? Yeah, maybe you came here because you wanted answers. Because I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear. I don't want to blow smoke up your butt. I want to give you the answer. But maybe someone's just looking for clarity right now. A little bit of guidance. Thank you. We have the Seven of Swords in the reversed. Yeah, because we're lying to ourselves. That's funny. We just had the Seven of Swords in reversed here. Well, yeah, we're listening to our shadow side a bit more often than not. Oh, that's funny. I'm glad I'm tapped in. Yeah, Eight of Cups in reversed. Yeah, we're like not walking away from the thing because we're lying to ourselves. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, looking at our lives. We're looking at everything that's going on and we're kind of getting in our own head and lying to ourselves about it. And we have the Lovers here as well, which is interesting. I gotta cover this up too. I forgot that the Egyptian tarot is just like the Rider-Waite and they have their bits and bobs out. So we cover them. It's only one though, which is hilarious. The Lovers. The Lovers is the complete opposite of the Devil, right? They're the two sides of the same coin. A lot of people will see this and they'll automatically think romantic things. It could be. I don't know what you're manifesting at this time. It could be love. I'm not sure. But the Lovers also talks about self-sabotage. It talks about the balancing of our inner masculine and feminine energies. So our intuitive, creative, playful side, the receiving side, the creative side, and the ambitious go-getter side, right? The one that's more connected to the material realm and the one that follows the intuition more. So that's why we're lying to ourselves. We're trying to kind of find a way to justify not leaving this situation, even though, because we look at it and we try to like come up with ways why it should work. It's kind of like, oh, well, I've been here long enough, so maybe if I just keep plugging away at it, it'll turn out fine. But like, you're bored. What are you talking about? You're bored. Tell me more. Can you clarify this Lovers card here? Because I see it in the upright, so that would be like a balancing out. I know we're trying to balance this out so that we're not in the Devil energy. Explain. Oh, someone's a Doctor Who fan. Explain. So, tell me more about this Lovers card. Can you clarify this? Thank you. Yeah, that Eight of Pentacles. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I just said, I probably shouldn't leave because I probably shouldn't go after this new thing. If I just keep working away at it, perhaps it'll just magically right itself and make things better. But you already know that it's not. Like, what are you talking about? The Ten of Pentacles in the reverse? That is not. You already know. You already know it's not going to lead to the Ten of Pentacles, because if it was, it would have already. Yeah, it's not going to lead to it. That's why you're questioning whether you should head to the new option or not. Oftentimes, I often feel that if you have to question something, you already know the answer, and you're just trying to find a convenient excuse to get the answer that you want. You follow me? And I know not everyone's going to like that I just said that. Listen, I've had to be real with myself on that matter as well. This is a lighter. I'm going to light this incense to clear out some negative energies. I like having lots of incense going. Yes. Yeah, it's like you're aware, you're trying to manifest something different, but your new life costs you your old one. So now you're trying to find a way to safely back out of that direction just in case. But that's not how that works. Yeah, Three of Pentacles. You're required to work with the universe. They're like, here's the opportunity. Why are you running? Oh, thank you for the gifts. Thank you. Yeah, it's that meme. Why are you running? Oh no. Yeah, we brought it for you, but you're back and forth. You're not sure. Yeah, you're screaming and running away from it. 222. Oh no. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, the Emperor in reverse and the Hierophant upright. And the Ten of Wands right after that. Oh, friend. You're freaking out and running away from this choice, saying, what if it's the wrong choice? But then you feel like you have no control over your life. You have to stick to what is tried and true, and it's crushing you under the weight. What are you doing? Friend, why? Oh, humans are silly. I am human. This is talking to me too. We all do this. We're like, I want change. I want things to be different. And then when change shows up, we're like, oh no. And we run away from it. And Spirit's like, am I a joke to you? You know what I mean? Oh, that's so funny. Why else do they need to hear this at this time? Yeah, because it's like they're telling you, like, why did you ask if you're going to run away from it? Oh no. The Ace of Cups in reversed again. Yeah, we're blocking it away. And with the Empress reversed again. I saw her earlier, but she didn't fall out, so I didn't take her. Yeah. We feel like we have no control over our lives, and we feel like we can't really bring anything into fruition. This is definitely the divine feminine and masculine who aren't in their healed energy, right? We feel like we have no power in our life, and we feel like we can't enjoy any abundance because we're not calling it into our lives, right? We're blocking the cup being presented by going back and forth, by being afraid of seizing the little cup with the fish in it. Because it's a cup, it's a fish in a cup. It makes sense why you would be like, I should not take this cup, there's a fish in it, you know? Yeah, smoke coming in, cleansing of negative energies. That's so funny. It's like Spirit's trying to protect you from yourself, which is what they do, right? They do this for everybody. Their whole job is when you wake up and you say, I want different, they're supposed to bring you the opportunities to allow you to do that, right? That's what they do. They come in and they give you the opportunity to choose different. And they're ever patient, right? They are fine. They know you're going to freak out and all that. And they're just going to keep giving you the opportunities until you choose yourself, you know? But like, it's just funny. They want you to know this because they're blowing the trumpet. They're saying, hey, you wanted the change. We're bringing the change. You're running away from the change. What are you doing? I need for you to be aware that you are running away. Yeah, sideways. Again, that Knight of Cups in the sideways, that Knight of Cups horizontal. The Knight of Cups is the most romantic knight in the deck, okay? So for some people, this is most definitely related to abundance. And for others, it's love, right? Because the Knight of Cups, I've seen lots of cups here, which represents love and emotions, right? You know your situation best. The Knight of Cups is the most romantic knight in the deck. It also talks about romanticizing your life, going after your dreams, chasing after your passions, right? It's not necessarily going after it with all this fire and gusto like the Knight of Wands would, you know, at breakneck speed without any thoughts on anything. This is the running with your heart, right? Just full force, full, like, He's the third fastest knight, so he doesn't quite move as fast as thought or motivation, but he's there with the emotions, right? So that's where we're at. Yeah, that's where we're at. If it was in the reverse, it talks about not chasing after your dreams, feeling like you don't deserve what makes you happy, not going after that relationship, being very moody and kind of spurning love when it comes in, right? That's what that energy means. We're in the middle. We're in the middle. Do I embrace what I really, really want? Oh, yeah, I just got the song So Tell Me What You Want, What You Really, Really Want. Spirit's funny. That just played in my head. They're like, so what do you want? What do you want though? Because you're giving me this energy. You say you want change. You say you want your life to get more exciting. But when I bring it to you, you go, no, no, not that, not that. I want that, but not that. Like, confusing. Got it. So funny. Spirit's hilarious. Why else do they need to hear this? So yeah, they're trying to help you. They're trying to call that to your attention that you're currently in this back and forth. I want the change, but I'm afraid of the change. So I want change, but it's not the way I imagined the wrapping of the change, so I'm afraid of it. Yeah. Yeah, it's like you get told that you're going to get a present, and so you're sitting here thinking of what the present could possibly be, and you're like, oh, it's going to be this big box, and it's going to have a red bow, and then you get it, and it's a small box with a white bow, and you're like, what is this? This is not what I asked for. What could this be, right? And you're still grateful. You're like, well, thank you, but what could it be? You're already kind of hesitant to accept the gift, not knowing that maybe you wanted this really big gift, but that little gift is like 10 times better than what you actually wanted, right? And you didn't even know that you wanted it. You didn't even know it existed. That's kind of how spirit works. They often say not to put too much emotional attachment into exact things looking exactly the way they want. Like, tell the universe what you want and be specific, but also let them know that you're open to accepting even better, right? Because we only have our 5 senses in this existence, but spirit doesn't have those limitations. They can literally pull things out of the air, right? You're like, oh, I just want a little studio apartment, right, that I can decorate and call my own. And they're like, surprise, here's a house that you can somehow afford in a great location. You're like, what? How did that even? I didn't even ask for a house. You're like, it's yours now. What's wrong with it? You know, like, and spirit's like, I brought you a house. You wanted a new home. You wanted more space. I brought you what you wanted. And you're like, yeah, but I can't afford that. There's no way I can afford it. And they're like, yes, you can. You're like, who died in it? You know, it's kind of like side-eyeing spirit. Like, what did you do? What's wrong with it? What's the catch? You know what I mean? That's kind of the energy we're in. What's the catch? What's wrong with this gift? That's so funny. I wanted $10,000 and you gave me 7. Why'd you give me 7? Well, 7's here first, but that's like your stable income from here on out, and the other 3 will come later, right? It's just a different package than you expected. Or not even the 3 will come later. It's like, I gave you 7, and then a few months from now, I'm going to give you another 7 and another 7. And like, you know, it's just funny. Spirit's like, be open to us giving you even better. Ask for what you want, and sometimes we'll give you even better. Yeah, it's like those people who can like look at say you have a board on Pinterest of all the things you want, and they're that gift giver that can look at all of that, and they'll go find a thing that matches everything you put on there, but you never even saw that thing, and it was even cooler than anything you put on the board. And you're like, how'd you even find this? It's kind of that vibe. Why else do they need to know this at this time, Spirit, before I move off? That's interesting. It didn't land, so I don't want it. There we go. The Fool. Yeah, that specifically This sideways is what brings in the beginning, right? It leads to the beginning. The Fool is all about beginnings, right? You're afraid of the you're afraid of the new beginning. And the new beginning is the Queen of Pentacles. The stability you wanted. The ability to be in all of your really beautiful clothing and smelling the flowers and being out in the sun and like having a beautiful time. That's so funny. Oh. It's like we brought you what you asked for, but you don't see it. You don't see it, so you're afraid of it. Yeah, 444. We are bringing you the stability you asked for, but you're afraid of it. Yeah, King of Cups. That's funny. Yeah, this new beginning is the Queen of Pentacles, so that stability, that groundedness, that having the work-life balance, that like all of those things. And the King of Cups is someone who's not drowning in their emotions. They're very much their head and their heart are in balance. So they're very emotionally stable. So it's like not only are you surrounded by your abundance, but you're also emotionally stable. And that's the new beginning, but we're afraid of it because it's being presented and we can't really see it yet. Oh no. Oh. And I don't want for you to take that as, oh, I should feel bad and I should feel ashamed or anything like that. No. Everyone's done this on their journey. The world, yeah, it's literally the cycle completion. The cycle completion. That's funny. 10 was in the chat a minute ago, which is all about completing cycles. And it just became 11. So it's like we're trying to manifest the completion of the cycle, but it's shown up and we're afraid of it. Oh, that's rough. I'm sorry. You've reached that part of the journey where the thing comes in and you aren't necessarily, it's not got a neon sign on it that says, hello, this is the end of your journey. You've passed the test. It's the final test of, here's your gift. And you're like, what? No, that doesn't look like what I wanted, so I don't trust it. So we have our what, and we have our why. Let's get into what you should do about it. Because it's easy for me to tell you what you're going through and why you need me to tell you about it. But that's too vague, and everyone loves more detail, right? So let's figure out. Hi, R. Let's figure out what you need to do about it. Happy early Thursday to you, my friend. And happy early Thanksgiving if you celebrate. If not, happy early Jupiter Day. Yes. Let's get into Mythos for what you should even do about it. Thank you so much. Oh man, I hope it clears up for you. I really do. So we have that sideways again. And it is the Two of Swords. Again with that Two of Swords. Thank you so much. Oh goodness. They want for you to make a choice. Okay? That's basically it, right? Nemesis. Isn't it funny? Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Isn't it funny how the answer is you need to pick one? You need to pick the thing and stop. Like, a lot of people go, if I just don't pick, it'll sort itself out. When in reality, not picking is a choice. You're choosing for everything to stay the same. Thank you so much for the gifts, for the likes, for your attention. Thank you guys. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Spirit wants you to pick. Pick a thing. Pick the gift or pick the same cycle. I mean, you could also choose to not choose, but remember that's a choice. Not choosing is also a choice. Because free will must be respected. So whatever you pick, you'll be supported in that decision, right? But if you have to re-go through the cycle, that you chose to go that direction, You don't ever pick wrong. It's just a matter of how scenic do you want the route to be? You know what I mean? How scenic do you want it to be? Yep, there's that whole flip cartwheel and the star, Nyx. Yeah, make your pick so you can actually start healing it, right? There is definitely a need. Yeah, you might have analysis paralysis problems, needing to know all the answers before you jump on the ship. Just jump on the ship, man. If it sparks up your heart, if you really feel like it will bring happiness to your life, if it's something you can't quite put down, if it is the thing that has been nagging at your heart for a while now, go after it. Okay? Go after it. Your intuition doesn't let you down. Oh no. And we got that, yeah, the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse right here. We're currently not in that Queen of Pentacles. We're not feeling grounded. We're not feeling stable. That's because we're not picking. And by not picking, we're choosing to remain in this energy. Yeah, time management out the window, priorities all over the place. Scatterbrained, like I said earlier, dropping a bunch of stuff, scatterbrained energy. Frazzled, this is stress. This is stressful. This big looming choice. Yeah, this big looming choice we're trying to make, trying to manifest, going, oof, but what if, but what if, but what if, maybe if I research some more, maybe if I do more scripting, maybe if I look for more signs on whether or not I'm going the right way, maybe then I'll know. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. The funny thing is, I'll tell you this because it's relevant. Yeah. The funny thing is, when it comes to manifestation, right, a lot of times they tell you to detach from it entirely. And that is terrifying because it's like you want it so bad, right, that it's hard to detach from it. So, for instance, there was a time where I really needed some form of stable income. I really needed money, right? And I said, okay, I need this amount of money in order to make sure that my rent is paid, right? I was very behind. I was like 3 months behind. I don't even know how I didn't get evicted at that point. This was during the huge amount of layoffs and stuff like that, right? Huge, terrible financial time for myself. And I said, no, I'm going to put this paperwork in because, again, I was in the military. I got an injury, and I put in the paperwork for the compensation for that, right? And it had been like over a decade, so I was like, there's no way they're going to give it to me, right? But eventually I put the paperwork in, and I went, no, they're going to approve it. They're going to approve it, and I'm going to have a stable income for the foreseeable future. And the rent day kept coming up, and I kept getting delays in the paperwork and delays. And I was getting more and more stressed, like, how am I going to eat? How am I going to feed my kid? How am I going to, what am I going to do? I have a lot of pain. It's very hard for me to work. I have a lot of reasons why a job outside of the house is very difficult, right? And like every side hustle I tried did not work out. And I'm not talking like I couldn't handle working, right? I'm talking like my car broke down, so I couldn't deliver. I started drawing, and my one of my conditions flared up, and it became so painful for me to draw that I couldn't use my right hand, right? Like actively preventing me from doing the thing despite trying my best. And the whole time I was just saying, I'm going to get, hi Taylor, I'm going to get what I need in order to pay my rent. It's going to come in. And I started to feel insane, right? I started to feel crazy. I was like, I am 1 more month away from being evicted. I'm 1 more month away from, something horrible happening. But I just kind of, one day I said, no, you know what? I just have to trust. I just have to believe. I have to believe so hard that, yeah, I just have to embrace it. I have to embrace that I've gone insane, right? I just have to, if I believe hard enough, it'll show up. And I was like, I need the money. I need it. And I said, you know what? It'll show up. And everyone's like, are you insane? Just go go apply to the fast food place near me. And I'm like, I cannot. I've tried. They will not hire me. And I can't really work there. I've been in the food industry for a long time. It exacerbates all of my conditions. And it's really rough on me. I don't have the time to spend with my child who very much needs me at home. But like, I was like, I can't go out and be out of my house for so long. It's extremely painful and I just can't do that. And they were calling me crazy and stuff. And then finally, after like, I was on the 5th month of not having paid my rent, right? And the next morning I woke up and all the money was in my account. And let me tell you, I thought for certain that I was just going to get evicted. I was like, there's no way, but it was there. It was mine. And I was able to pay my rent, like fully, the full amount. I was able to do that. I was able to go get the groceries I desperately needed. And, all of that. Mind you, I didn't qualify for, any of the government programs that I applied for. So I was pretty much out of luck. So like, I was just sitting there like, what do I do? Everything I've tried doesn't work. And yeah, it eventually did. I just had to, thank you. I just had to be like, no, it's coming. I had no plan for what I would do if it didn't. I had nothing. And like you, my friend, I am very much a person who is very type A. I like to have all my finances in order. I budget down to the cent. I like to know where I'm going before I get there. So this was such a hard manifestation for me. But it did work out. So I had to make my choice. I had to pick something. And my choice was to file that paperwork and to just see if it works. That's very good advice, R. Being type A can be hard because it's good to be organized, but sometimes being so over organized can lead you to analysis paralysis for sure. Yes. The Magician showing up here as well. So it's like, I told you, you're manifesting right now, but we're at that point where we're going back and forth on selecting that thing. So you just need to, it sounds crazy to go after this little cup with the fish in it, but you need to choose. Sometimes you don't get to know what's going to happen. You just have to trust. And that's terrifying, I know. It's terrifying. It's terrifying to just blindly trust. It really is. It really, really is. So I understand. I understand why we're back and forth. Ooh, should I, shouldn't I, should I? I understand. Trust me. I just told you all the reasons why I identify with this energy. So like, I've been here, friend. I've seen the cup. I screamed. I ran away from it. And the universe looked at me like I was stupid. I've been there. I understand. Yeah. We have that sideways again. 6 of coins, right? That reciprocal energy. Give and take. Yeah. You put in your manifestation and spirit hears you and they come in and we're afraid of it. And that's why we feel ungrounded. They are saying you need to pick your thing. Pick it. We met you where you're at. Now you're afraid to receive. You're much more about giving, and you don't really know how to receive yet. If I just plug away and I work really hard, eventually it'll just work out for me. But you're not used to being given what you want, right? You're very used to having to slog through everything in order to get there. But that's the thing. When you start manifesting, you start tapping into your divine feminine. You start tapping into your ability to receive and going, I want this, spirit, give it to me. And spirit goes, oh, bet. Oh, you're about it. You're actually about it. So we'll give it to you. You're working on yourself and you've started changing the way that your subconscious operates, which means you're vibrating at that level. You're actually open to getting what you ask for, right? So we're going to give it to you. And we expect that initial kickback of resistance because you've never been handed the thing you've asked for before, or at least in your perception, right? Yes. Because a lot of people don't realize that when they sit in this energy of nothing good ever happens for me, they're also requesting that from the universe. It's a very neutral, reciprocal energy, but that's a video for another day. But you're not used to putting out good vibrations and receiving the good vibrations. You know what I mean? So it's a little scary when it comes in. It's spooky. You go, oh, what? Wait, this whole time I could have been doing this? What have I been doing with my life? You know, that's how I felt, that's for sure. When I went, wait, I can do that? I can just call money in? That's fine? Yes. No, the universe does not keep a collections. They don't require you to pay them back. All they want for you to do is to just have faith that you'll get it. Because again, your relationship with yourself is your relationship with spirit, right? So if you say, I deserve nice things, this is what I want, give it to me, right? You're telling yourself, source, your spiritual self, give me what I want. Give me what is best for me. And they show up and they go, oh, here, right? Yeah. Yeah. But it's interesting how we're taught that if we get something, we're expected to pay them back. And it's kind of a rather backwards perception, because right now, what you and I are doing is an energy exchange. You're giving me your time and your attention. I'm giving you the answers you require. You don't owe me anything, right? Now, I do offer the personal readings, right, at the link in my bio, but I do offer them. So you giving me the material resources in order to get the answer to your personal question is an energy exchange. Does that mean that you being here at my collective reading, my live, means that I'm going to knock on your door and demand the money? No, because I'm offering this as a service. All I require from you is your focus. Is your focus and your time. Yeah? That's the same way the universe works. All they really require is that you give your intent. They say, what do you want? Right? You came here down to this earth to have a human experience, okay? We're here to facilitate all the lessons that you want to learn in this lifetime. So, what do you want? And you vibrate at the frequency of life sucks, only bad things ever happen to me. I'm going to struggle in order to always be in debt and then die an early death from overwork. And they go, yikes. I mean, okay. If that's what you want, here you go. Here's all the opportunities to affirm that reality to you, right? Then you say, actually, no, that's not what I should be doing. I deserve a softer life. I deserve to have abundance. I deserve these things and I want them, right? And they receive the energy and they go, oh, here you go, right? Here's things to affirm that reality to you. Here's all the opportunities to make that happen. Here's all the opportunities to choose different and to bring that into your life. And we're not used to that because we're used to the negative side. We haven't done the positive side yet. Or at least we haven't done it in a way where we're actively doing it, right? Strength. There it is again. More of that. So it's funny. In the traditional tarot, it talks about shutting the lion up, shutting up the primal side, that side that goes, life is suffering and life is pain, right? That we were taught by everybody else, right? I must carry the weight of the world on my shoulders in order to be successful. I must be like Atlas, forever holding all the weight on our shoulders. No. Someone told you that. Someone told you that because that was their choice of how their reality works. You don't have to subscribe to that. You don't have to believe that. You don't have to make that your reality. You know what I mean? That's what society says. Sisyphus. That's what society says. That doesn't mean it's true. Just because everybody says that's how it is doesn't make it true. And if you don't believe me, ask every underdog out there who's now extremely successful. Ask everyone who went through abusive relationship after abusive relationship, who finally found that healing relationship. Ask them about it. Okay? Because they suffered and suffered and suffered, right? And got what they wanted, right? But did they have to? No. If it truly was that all we ever get, if it truly was that you're born into this life, you suffer, and then you die, we would never see the people receive the good things in life, right? And usually the thing they'll always tell you is at one point in their life, they got tired of everything being the same and they chose different. And we often think that means that they woke up one morning and were just a whole different person. No. It just means at one point in time, they saw the scary thing. They saw the fish in the cup. And they said, what if I choose the fish in the cup this time instead of sticking with the familiar, right? We have temperance here with Artemis, that balancing out. Again, that sideways, that balancing out. That's funny. Pick your choice. Do you forever go back into the take? Do you forever go back into that? The give? The over giving, the never receiving? Or do we balance the scales? What do you want? What do you want, my friend? Because again, right? Yeah, we have the Four of Swords here with Hypnos. Yeah, because right now what we're doing is by not choosing, by actively, yeah, me too. Let's give him a second, right? The god of sleep, by the way. Oh, I love that. There's a pause, a transitionary period, and the pause is always when that little parasite comes in and they start yapping in your ear. That's always when they come in during the rest, during the waiting period, right? As they should, because it's scary. Waiting is scary. That's when they come in to try to but it's not familiar. But we could be doing the same thing. It's the protective mechanism. Your defenses came up, right? Nothing wrong with it. I'm not telling you to beat down your inner parasite, right? It is it's a tool, right? It's a tool. It's here to keep you safe. It's here to make sure that you remember that snakes are venomous, right? The only problem is it now identifies everything as a snake. You know, it's that adage of humans used to have to constantly be vigilant for everything because literally everything could take you out. So you can't really tell the difference. Like your body can't tell the difference. Your body and your subconscious can't tell the difference between public speaking and a saber-toothed tiger, right? They react to both of them the same exact way. So it can be very harmful, right? But in this transitionary period of going back and forth on whether to choose the cup that looks too good to be true or stay in the same boring thing, you get that really antsy, restless energy, that wanting change but not knowing if you should accept the change, and staying in that back and forth. Do I complete the cycle or repeat it? Do I complete it or do I repeat it? Do I complete it or do I repeat it? Just over and over and over again. So that's what they want you to do. They want you to choose. They want you to choose. Yep. Justice and Hangman. They want you to make your choice. They want you to balance out your scales, and they want you to see things from a different perspective, right? Choose the new perspective. It looks too good to be true because you were taught that anything that looks too good to be true is evil. Yes. But if it's from your intuition, if it's from your highest self, it's not going to be evil. What else do they need to do at this time? Yeah, on the sideways, that 10 of Pentacles, again with that stability, and that Page of Swords. Stop researching. You've read enough articles, you've watched enough videos, you've read enough books. It's time to pick one. Okay? It's time to make your choice. Because this is literally screaming analysis paralysis, right? You need to choose. Make your pick and then make peace with your pick, right? Pick one. All right. And I'm so sorry for my Libras here, but you're going to have to just pick one. And when you have your buyer's remorse right afterwards, you're just going to have to deal with it. But you need to pick one. Because right now, this in-between of going back and forth isn't doing anything. You're just repeating the same cycle over and over again of being like wanting change, being afraid of picking the wrong one, and then, yeah, no, you can't do that, friend. You can't do that. We all wish that we could scum save and reload after we find out the answer. No. And I'm a tarot reader. Like, they'll tell me, you probably should rethink that, right? And I'm like, how dare you? How dare you tell me not to go after that? I want this. That's sideways again. My goodness. Yeah, we're working through a lot right now. That Four of Wands. Yeah. This going back and forth is literally why things don't feel stable. It's because you haven't made a choice. Yeah, that's okay. We all are little bumbling toddlers when it comes to spirit. I feel like they're always going, you know? Yeah, quick saving in real life would be amazing. Yeah, that Six of Cups. That childlike spirit. That's funny. Yeah. It's like, I want to go back to the simpler times where it was just easy to pick because I was a kid and I didn't have all my adult worries and I just went with the funnest option. So do that. Tap back into that inner kid. Embrace that little Leo. Embrace that Leo, that little sun. Let yourself pick like a kid would. Oh my God, yeah, for real. People griefing all your stuff. No. Yes. So that's what they want you to do. They want you to pick one. They want you to go back to how kids pick. They pick the funner option, right? Which one sounds fun? Do that. Who was it? There's a lady out there who's like done 1,000 different jobs, and she said, I've been at 1,000 jobs, I've been fired from jobs, I've tried them, I haven't liked them, but she doesn't regret picking a single one because she's like, I now know that career choice is not for me, right? I found that fascinating. I wish I knew who that was. I watched her like 3 years ago, so I don't remember who she is, but she did so many different jobs. And I was like, how do you just do that? How do you go out and you just put your resume out there and just do so many? How do you have the bravery to just try? And she said it just seemed fun, so I tried it. Right? They asked her a similar question of why did you just like how did you get past the should I even be qualified for this, right? There you go. And she was like, I just tried it because it sounded fun. And I think we need to do more of that. We need to get more into it sounded cool, so I gave it a try. And if it doesn't work out, well, that wasn't for me. Yeah. I'm like, I could never. Are you kidding me? I don't even... Every time I've tried to work a job, whether the military, whether being a chef or doing side hustles, anything that wasn't like me starting something has not worked out for me because like my stuff just breaks or my body breaks down or, like it just doesn't work out for me. So I could not imagine doing that 1,000 times. Yeah, we have the Two of Pentacles here. So getting your priorities straight, the Moon, being okay with just following your intuition, the Four of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. Yeah, don't let that scarcity mindset keep you stuck, right? And the Nine of Cups, yeah, because you're trying to manifest your happiness and your little beginning here with Pan, the Fool, right? You're trying to manifest it, it shows up, and then you're afraid that you're going to make the wrong choice. No. If you're actively manifesting your happiness, if you're actively manifesting the thing that you want, then you can't make the wrong choice because everything being presented is because of what you manifested. Yeah. Yeah. So some of you may be fans of Snoop Dogg, right? Go do the side quests. Go do side quests. You know how like you play games like Skyrim and stuff like that, and instead of doing the main story, you go become everything else? Try it. Try doing the side quests. Try doing the side quests. Now, if you're trying to manifest a love situation, right, and someone comes in, how do I put this? Use your discernment as always, right? But not everybody is the person who hurt you. Okay? Get back into the spirit of being in love again. Love is not a painful thing. Shitty people make love a painful thing, okay? So get back into that spirit. It's okay to fall in love. It's okay to be in love again, all right? It's okay. Yes, I do like RPG games. I keep referencing them all. Yes, I'm a huge RPG fan. But yeah, do the side quests, my friend. So, I'm going to get into the Oracle advice cards. I'm feeling the D&D ones today. That is true. Yeah, you go do the side quests and then you hit up the final boss and you're like level 8,000 and the boss is level 50. So like you get all the tools and experience you need from doing all of the side quests. So I don't know, try it. Have some fun, get some cool gear along the way, meet some interesting NPCs, you know? Do those kinds of things. Yeah. So before I get into the advice oracle, right, I'm feeling the D&D one, so I'm definitely going to use that. That's funny. Yes. It's because I'm a D&D nerd. When I think of RPGs and I think of the ultimate getting into your kid energy and kind of going for the fun, crazy option, I always think of D&D, right? It's my apart from spirituality and tarot, D&D is like my other huge love of my life, barring the obvious things like my child and stuff like that. But like D&D is one of my favorites. But yeah, before I get into that, I will do a quick recap. As always, I like to post a shortened video after the live for people who missed it so that they can watch it at their leisure. That'll take me just a moment, so just bear with me, and I will happily get into the advice. I like the advice oracle because it gives you something to think about as you proceed, right? I love that our D&D is fun. It is absolutely fun. It's really fun for adults. It's really fun for children too. You can get any age really will work with D&D as long as they can read and do basic math, right? Super fun, super creative, really beautiful improv exercises, a great bonding experience. Beautiful. I'm going to light one more incense and get into that recap for those who tune in at a later date and move into the advice for all of my lovely people here. Thank you for your time and your patience, and let's get into it. So, someone here is trying to manifest a fresh new start in their life, right? They are very much going for their happiness, but we're at a current little bump in the road of indecision, analysis, paralysis. We're trying to choose between going after what spices up our lives and shutting down the part of ourselves that tells us, but what if we pick wrong? There's a constant battle of what if what I want to choose is the wrong thing, right? And that's kind of keeping you from walking away from the things that do not bring you any joy, that bring you this feeling of being bored and dissatisfied. And it's legitimately blocking your journey away from this towards this, being content, having those 9 cups. We feel like we need to keep researching, keep learning. We're a bit guarded towards this decision. We feel like we need to go read another article. We need to go read another book. We need to go watch another tarot video. We need to go watch another YouTube video or whatever else in order to get the answer we need, that sudden inspiration, maybe look for a new angel number or whatever confirmation we need from the universe to go after the thing. right? And what we're not realizing is that Spirit's here to provide you with a wake-up call, and they're saying, hello, you're actively manifesting, but you're also getting in your own way, right? You're getting in your own way of your manifestation, right? We're so guarded against it that we're blocking it. I want change. Change shows up. Whoa. Whoa. No, wait. Let me go read the guide. Let me go read the tutorial to see how this choice pans out. You know what I mean? Kind of doing that thing. The thing comes up. The choice comes in. It's a fish in a cup. It is ridiculous. It looks too good to be true. It's the thing that we are intuitively being called to. But it, like, every time we look at it, our little inner parasite goes, well, remember the last time we kind of just dove in with all of our passion and our fire and it led to a big, huge, heaping mess? Do you remember that time? Do you remember? And Spirit's like, quiet. Quiet that, because that's getting in the way, right? That is your inner parasite, right? You have been plugging away, working very hard at bringing in a new beginning. You have been, right? You've been working very hard, that incense smoke coming in, right? You've been working very hard at clearing out all those negative thought processes, right? You've been trying very, very hard to quiet that inner bully, that inner parasite that keeps you stuck in the same repeating cycles. And I definitely see that. We keep going back and forth between being like, no, it's going to be fine, right? And being like, but what if it's not, right? Yeah. And they're lies. They're lies that we tell ourselves in order to keep ourselves safe, in order to prevent this new cup that's being offered from the divine from hurting us, right? We don't necessarily see that it's from the divine because, unfortunately, like in this photo, a giant hand did not come out of the sky and offer you the thing that you wanted on a silver platter, right? If it did, no one would ever question it. But then that would ruin our free will. You get me? So they can't just do it like that, because then they would be influencing all of your decisions and that would break a whole lot of their own laws. That ruins your plans, right? Because we're so busy blocking the new thing because it's not what we're expecting. It's not necessarily showing up with the red bow. It's showing up with the white bow. And so we're freaking out and blocking everything. It's not what I specifically asked for. It's not necessarily at the time that I asked for. Whatever reason, we're afraid of it. And that's keeping us in this, but it's not showing up. So my manifestations aren't working. It just keeps going back and forth on, which option should I choose? I shouldn't choose because I'll choose wrong. That whole kit and caboodle, that wounding process, right? And the reason you're being told this at this time is because you're lying to yourself, my friend, and you're not leaving behind the thing you need to leave behind. Your new life will cost you your old one, right? You're already looking at your life and you're trying to balance that inner self-saboteur. But this back and forth of whether or not to continue forward on that choice is causing you to not. It's making you feel like, well, if I just stay here and I work harder, it'll bring it in. No, it won't. You already know that. You already know that. Otherwise, you wouldn't want to leave. If it was already giving you the results for all of your hard work, you wouldn't want to leave because it would already be doing what you want it to do, right? So you already know. Spirit wants you to work with them a little bit, right? This point in time, you're blocking everything they come in with. So you keep saying, oh, I have no control over my life. I just need to stick to what's true, even though it's crushing me and killing me inside, right? It's absolutely crushing my soul. I feel like I have to suffer in order to receive. And that's just not true, right? And we just keep blocking the new opportunities over and over again. We feel like we can't really receive the new thing. We feel like we have no control over our life. And we're just kind of reaffirming that wound and that feeling, that need of, I'm going to choose wrong, so I need to make absolutely sure that this is the right choice before I choose it, before I go for it. Yeah, that Knight of Cups sideways. Instead of just going for it and romanticizing your life, chasing after what you want, you need to make absolutely sure. We're kind of treating it, spurning everything. Being like, stay away from me, right? That's blocking your beginning. The new beginning that you keep pushing away is being stable like you want. It's being grounded. It's having the abundance that you're looking for. It is being emotionally stable, not constantly drowning in your feelings over the fact that you have no power over your life. And it is the completion of this cycle. It's the completion of the loop of analysis paralysis. It's the completion of that suffering in order to obtain things, right? What they want you to do about it, they want you to make a choice. They want you to pick something, right? Pick something. They want you to choose. Choose a thing. You can't make a wrong choice. You either make the choice that leads you towards your manifestations faster, or you go a bit longer on the scenic route. You don't really make a bad choice. It's just a matter of how long you end up getting there, right? Make your choice, because making a choice will bring some healing. Why? Because at least you won't have to stress over making a choice anymore, okay? Yeah, make a choice, because right now we're ungrounded, we're unstable, we're back and forth, things are chaotic. We can't really focus because we have this thing nagging at us in the back of our head. Welcome back, Badaka. Yeah, and even though we're trying to manifest this reciprocity, this I want this, give it to me, right? We aren't used to receiving. We aren't used to asking for what we want and actually receiving it, right? So our hackles are raised. We're afraid of it. We're guarded, right? Hello. Yeah, because we're used to feeling like we have to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. We feel like we have to suffer to receive. So when we actively work on manifestation and we find out how easy it is for the universe to just hand us what we ask for, because we say, I don't need to suffer. And Spirit goes, okay. And you go, what? Like that? Just like that? That easy? Are you sure? What's wrong with it? Is it broken? Did someone die in it? You know, like we're not used to receiving. So we treat it like it's booby trapped. And that puts us in this sideways. We're not really balanced on it. We don't really know how to receive. We end up being restless, anxious. We can't really rest because we're too busy trying to pick. And we stay stuck right before we decide if we complete the cycle or repeat the cycle, right? We're just kind of stuck. Yeah, it's literally like we're right here. We're right here in the middle. Like, does this turn forward or does it go backwards? That's where we're at right now. We're kind of stuck in this moment in time where they're like, okay, but are we going forwards or are we going backwards? Because standing still means nothing happens. It means we just stay right here. Yeah, and they want for you to write the scales. Pick a thing. Let the balance happen, right? Be open to receiving. That's what you want. You wanted something. You asked for it. Spirit's like, here it is. Don't be afraid when you get it. Yeah, and stop, for the love of all that is out there, please stop researching. Okay? It's good to know. It's good to look for information. It's good to be hungry for knowledge, right? But if you find yourself every single time a choice comes in, looking for another tarot reading, looking for another article, looking up the pros and cons of the pros and cons of the pros and cons, right? That's me looking at you. Looking for the pros and cons and the pros and cons of the pros and cons. You need to stop because you're going nowhere. That's analysis paralysis. You're now in a spiral of feeling like I need to know all the answers before I make a choice. But there will always be an article on why that choice is bad and an article on why that choice is good. And you will always be in the middle. You just have to eventually pick one, you know, pick one. Pick one and live with the choice, okay? Yeah, because right now where you're at, the foundation's not stable. We're just constantly back and forth stressing out over picking something. So pick something, right? Just pick something. Your intuition will not steer you wrong. You want this fish in a cup, go after the fish in the cup, okay? You want things to be like the good old days, like the simpler days where you were able to just go after the fun option. So go after the fun option, okay? Be like a kid. Do the side quests. Do the thing that looks fun. Go gain all the experience. Go gain all the knowledge. Go gain all the tools you need in order to show up for the main boss and then be overpowered and take it out. Like, just do the fun thing, right? Do what calls to you. Let your soul lead you, right? Yeah. Don't be so caught up in somehow choosing the wrong option. And like I said earlier, what is meant for you will not miss you. You will get there, okay? You will get there. Whether it takes you 356 hours or 12, right? Like, it's a matter of how many times you say, oh, I don't want to go after the fun thing, so I'll repeat what's familiar, right? Until you finally go, actually, I want the fun thing, and you go after the fun thing, right? It just, whenever you make that choice is when you actually start bringing something into your life, something new, right? So that's what they want. Like, you're manifesting your happiness in your beginning. Don't be afraid of the beginning. Just because a hand doesn't magically open up out of the sky and say, here's the thing you specifically asked for, doesn't mean that you're not being given the opportunity to get the thing that you asked for, okay? No amount of tarot readings is going to replace your inner discernment. I can tell you all day until I'm blue in the face. I could sit here and I could do yes and no's, right? Even though tarot is not really good at yes and no's, it's more of a maybe. But I could sit here and I could do yes and no's and say, yes, you'll get that car. No, you won't get that car. Yes, you'll get that promotion. No, you won't get that promotion. But if you never go after it, you're not going to get it. Because you're choosing to not go after it. How can you get it if you don't ask for it? And how can you get it if when it's presented to you, you don't receive it? Right? So that's the recap. Let's get into the advice cards here, right? Yeah, and this is something I've had to learn too, trust me. Because I definitely grew up with the I have to work every day until I eventually fall into my own grave because life is suffering and I need to embrace the suck and tough it up or whatever. I obviously don't subscribe to that because I think that's stupid. But, you know, not knocking anyone who does that, right? Much respect to you guys. But I don't want that in my own life, so I'm just not going to do it. And I don't really care if people think I'm nuts. People think I'm nuts anyway. Might as well be. They're gonna think I'm crazy anyway. Might as well be crazy. Like, seriously, I talk to dead people and people, like, I might as well do the crazy thing. So, let's see. I have my oracle advice here. I feel like if everybody tells you that what you want to go after is like wrong and crazy, besides unaliving someone, I do not condone that. Don't do that. But like, if what you want isn't going to hurt anybody, what's crazy about it? Like, seriously, what's crazy about it? What's crazy about going after someone that you really care for, as opposed to just sequestering away in my house and never leaving and never, like, I want someone in my life. I want a relationship, but I don't leave my house. I don't put myself out there in order to meet someone. And then I wonder why I don't have anyone. It's because I don't go out, right? I don't go out. I don't put myself out there. I hate this dead-end job, but I never look for something else. I never put my resume out there. I never try a different field, you know? Like, yeah, we don't like it. We want to change it, but we don't do the things to change it. You know what I mean? Do the crazy thing. So, Spirit, let's calm some of their anxieties and ease some of their fears at this time. Give them some advice to help them on their journey at this time. Provide them some guidance. Yeah. What's some advice that you can give them at this time on their journey towards their happiness, towards their legacy? The map. I'm looking at you. You remember when we talked about the map? You have the map. You already have the map. Spirit gave you the map. I remember talking about this before of you want the map, but do you know how to read the map? How do you know where you're going if you can't read a map? You have the map. You're manifesting it. You're saying, I want to get here. That's where I want to go. I want to get here and I want the journey to be a good one. Right? And Spirit's like, okay, here's the road. Here's the path. You're like, well, I don't know what that means. I don't trust it. I need 5 other maps in order to make sure that's an accurate map. Right? That's kind of where we're at. No. You got the map. What do you mean? You have the map now. You manifested the map. You asked for the map. The map was provided, and they even said, here you go. Here's the little route. Here's where you need to go. But you don't trust the map now. That's so funny. And I see pink here for that heart chakra. It's like trying to heal the heart chakra. We're afraid of it. Aww. What other advice do you have for them at this time? Someone's phone could be dying. Fiend. Yeah, we feel like we're being manipulated. We feel like the universe is pulling our leg, like we're crazy. Whatever this is, we feel like there's a catch. We feel like the map is a catch. For some reason, it's a lie. Yes. I understand how this feels. I also struggle. Well, I don't struggle with it anymore. I used to struggle with analysis paralysis, right? I used to need to know all the answers and get all the confirmations and all of that. And that really got me nowhere. That got me to never do anything at all because I needed to read another book, get another opinion. I don't need any opinions. I just need to pick an option and then stand in it. And if someone comes in and they're like, what you did impacted me this way, instead of giving them all the reasons why I made that decision, I just go, I'm sorry that what I did caused you pain. How can I fix it? You know? And that's just as a parent, you know, like just picking a way to raise your kids and hoping you don't traumatize them along the way, you know what I mean? But like, that's kind of the energy here of just needing to pick and then live with it. Being like, well, I made my choice. You can always change your mind. There's like this weird feeling of, if I pick this route, I can't ever pivot. I can't ever go anywhere else. I can't ever change my mind. Yeah, you can. You can always change your mind. That doesn't mean that you're like super flaky or you have no backbone, right? The only time you don't have a backbone is when you let everybody else decide your future for you. And you have no thoughts of your own. Yeah, the tomb and the tower, as well as the mine. Oh, and the void. Yeah, we feel kind of lost right now. That lost. I'm stuck here. I'm going to repeat that for the rest of my life. I can't trust this because I'm going to stay in my tower. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to stay in my little tower where it's comfortable, where I know all of the things that could possibly cause me problems. I know how to deal with those. So I'm going to stay in my tower. But you got something hidden away in here that you're trying to dig at. That little tomb, something hidden. It's in there. You want to get out, but that's what it is, that fear of the new thing, because something made you fear new things. Like I said, we're trying to manifest it, so it's like we're trying to dig down and find this hidden thing at the time. We want another map. We're trying to find another map because we don't trust this one. So I'll stay where it's familiar, where I know the hurts, because I don't want new hurts. Thank you. Yeah, Sage. Yeah, we want that advice. We want someone to come in and tell us exactly step by step, right? Ah, yes. This is the correct map. This is right. This is right. You need me to tell you that you are on the right path. You need me to tell you that you have made the correct decision. Oh my goodness, I'm glad to hear that. Welcome back. Yeah, you want for someone like me who has studied tarot for 5 years to come tell you that the choice that you made is correct and you are on the right path. When you have your own fully working intuition that you can follow and you choose not to. Yeah, we're hoping for advice, which is fine and good until we are on our 53rd tarot video, trying to shop the different tarot readers for whether or not they will affirm that belief. We'll get a yes from a tarot reader, but we'll need 3 more yeses just to make sure, right? No, friend, that's not how that works. If you hear yes from me and then you go scroll down and watch like 10 other tarot videos and they tell you yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, you're confusing yourself. Okay? Thank you. Any other advice for them at this time, Spirit? Yeah, like it's good to go look for research. It's good to hear from people who have been where you are before and how they came out of it. But at some point, you have to just choose for yourself. You have to make the choice. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for shares. Thank you for being here and spending your night with me. Thank you. Yeah, that key. But it was sideways again. Yeah, we're looking for someone to give us the key. You have the key, my friend. You already have it. You already have it. It's in here. It's in that tomb. It's in your own heart. You already know the way you want to go. It's the thing you're afraid of. The thing that scares you the most is the answer. I'm being for real. You don't have to believe me. Yeah. You think that in order to progress, your new life will cost you your old one. That's a scary phrase, but it's true, right? If you're chasing your abundance, that means that you may have to get up a little bit earlier in order to chase after your dreams. You may have to put your face out there for other people to see, even though you're an introvert, generally speaking, right? You may have to learn how to speak in public. You may have to learn how to drive on an interstate that you've never driven before, right? There will be some sort of small thing that you have to do that's different. The unfamiliar thing. That's the thing. That's the key, right? And it's scary. Like I said, it's scary because it's like, ooh, but what if I put my face out there and someone says something mean about me? They're just a jerk. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do that thing. If it calls to you, if it appeals to your soul, if you're being called to do it, do it. Yeah. If it's love and you're afraid of love and you're like, but what if the new person hurts me? Unless they have the same face as the person who hurt you, they're probably not going to, right? You can't treat everybody like the person who hurt you. Yeah. The giant represents making somebody overly important, right? Making them really big. This choice feels huge. It feels monumental. It feels life-changing. It feels like it's. My friend told me today that they had to clean the cords of their computer. It was like a big jumbled mess, and they were really afraid it was going to be a arduous task. But then they started and found out it wasn't as hard as they thought, right? Usually it's much scarier and more overwhelming to know you have to do the thing than it is to actually do the thing. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, you choose to homeschool your child. You don't know anything about homeschooling, so you do a ton of research, too much research. You finally start, but before you ever started, you spent so much time thinking of all the ways it could go wrong and wondering if you were even qualified to do that, that you made it this big, terrifying thing when all you really had to do was start. And then you find out, oh, this isn't so hard. This isn't so bad. You know, as long as I follow this curriculum that I bought and I just show up every day and realize that, you know, homeschooled children don't necessarily need to show up for 8 hours a day, like in a little classroom setting. It'll go just fine and they'll learn just fine and they'll do just fine, you know? And it's like that. And you make it this huge deal, this huge thing until you start. And then when you start, you realize it wasn't really all that scary. The hard part is always the start. It's always the unknown, the beginning. Welcome back, Padaka. Any more advice from my collective here? Yeah, 311. Incoming changes. And Warrior, yeah, you're way tougher than you think you are. You are way more capable than you think you are. How much have you already been through in your life? You really think you can't handle something new? Like, you've been through enough. And I'm not saying that more is going to come your way and beat you up and stuff. Sure, there will be hiccups along the road. Sure, you'll have to encounter some new lessons. But you've already been through enough. You've already survived the comet. You've already survived the meteor shower. You've already been through that life-changing experience that, like, truly made you even want to change in the first place. You did it. You're still here. So you're capable of handling a giant after dealing with a comet. You know, you can do it. You'll be just fine. It'll be scary, sure, but you can handle it. And by doing that thing, by embracing the new thing and allowing yourself to be in those new unfamiliar situations, you build your confidence, which allows you to chase after newer situations, right? In order to move forward in life, in order to meet new people, to go to new jobs, to find new relationships, right? You have to go where the people are, right? You have to be new, and then get moved into rooms you've never been in before, speak to people you've never spoken to before, and learn who those people are and let them learn who you are, right? Terrifying, absolutely terrifying, right? But that's okay. Because the more you do it, the more comfortable you get doing that, the more people you can meet, the more opportunities you can come across, the more you can come across the relationships you don't want and find the one you do want. You follow me? Find the friendships that support you. Find the lovers that actually love you, right? Those types of things. In order to do that, you must first get comfortable experiencing other people, other opportunities where you are not familiar, so that you have the opportunity to learn how to make it familiar. Any more advice for them, Spirit, or is that it for today? Good. I hope it resonates. I hope I'm speaking to someone. And we have the tree here. You're already resilient. You are hanging on by those roots. No matter what life is thrown at you, no matter how many bricks they lay at you, you have still persisted and grown into this beautiful tree. What do you mean you can't handle it? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Yes, you can. You grew into a tree. Despite all the attempts to bury you, despite all the attempts to cage you down, you persist. Yet here you are. And that star. That's so interesting because the star typically in tarot speaks of healing, but in this deck, it talks about information. Oh, I get it. Your knowledge, the answer you're looking for, comes from experience. You may be, your whole life you may have been someone who is a reader, writer, learner, or a visual learner. It's time for you to be a kinetic learner, my friend. It's time for you to go be in it. It's time to dive into the water, trial by error, dive into the fire, that kind of thing. It's time for you to actually get in there and do the thing and learn on the job, learn on the go. Okay? It's time for you to practice those critical thinking skills in real time. You'll be amazed at how powerful you actually are and how smart you are when you're actually interacting with things that make you uncomfortable. You'll be surprised at how adaptable you actually are. Because like I said, you got the warrior and you got the tree, right? The two who persist. The tree specifically existing out of pure spite. You will not bury me. You will not, no matter what you do, I will persist. I will break your foundations. I will break your rocks. Screw your rocks. This is my piece of land. That's your answer. Pick a thing and stand in it. Pick your thing. Choose your hard. Choose your hard. The sun. Happiness. Choose your hard. Do you want to stay in your analysis paralysis, never knowing which way to go and forever being in that like fight or flight? Everything's still the same, but I want change. But when change shows up, I don't know if I should take it, like back and forth confusing. Or do I dive into the new opportunities and find the new opportunities? Which one do you want? Which hard do you want? Pick it and go for it. You're at your crossroads. Pick it. Pick the path. Pick the path, friend. It doesn't need to be clear. It doesn't need to be clear. Pick the path. Make a choice. Make a choice. Pick one. You're not going to pick wrong. You're either going to get there faster or you're going to go a bit longer on the scenic route. Either way, you're going to get there. All right? That's how it works. Don't be afraid. So that's the thing about bravery. There's no person out there who sees something and isn't petrified. Being brave means you're still afraid, but you do it anyway. Everyone thinks that being brave means that you have no fear. You just show up and you do it. No! Everyone is afraid of the new thing. They're afraid of it. It's new. We have evolved to be afraid of new things. That's how we've been alive this long as a species. It's okay to be scared. Do it anyway. The only way to stop being scared is to make the unfamiliar familiar. It's okay to be afraid. Being afraid is a human emotion. It's normal. It's okay. It just means that you don't know what you're doing in this situation. Yep, I've already talked about that this whole time. Yes. You will not choose wrong. If you follow the thing that is nagging at your soul that you cannot stop thinking about, you will not be disappointed. Your intuition whispers and fear and panic are loud. If the constant thought is it's not going to work out, that's your fear and your panic. Okay? That's your fear and your panic. That's what you need to work through, okay? Because just because something didn't work out before doesn't mean it won't work. Okay? Sometimes it didn't work out because it just wasn't the right time yet. Now could definitely be the correct time. Right? Maybe you didn't have the exact amount of experience you needed at that time. Maybe that specific job, that specific environment, those people sucked. So Spirit didn't want you there. They said, no. They talk smack about everyone who walks in. I don't want you here. Right? You don't deserve that. And they moved you away. It doesn't mean that you're not capable. Like I said, you're the warrior and you're the tree. You're fully capable. But your answer lies in you doing the thing scared. You can do it. And if at any point, especially if this is in regards to love, if at any point they show signs of those same patterns of the thing that hurt you, you have the knowledge now to leave early. Okay? And I'm not talking about the first red flag you see, because everyone has them. I'm talking about if it consistently shows up. If you see it twice or 3 times, head on out. Don't feel bad. Right? Everyone has a bad day. Everyone says something sideways sometimes. But if it is a consistent thing and you see it more than once, head right on out that door and don't you feel bad about it, okay? And that's just for the people who are manifesting love, because I got love and I got abundance here. But if you're trying to get a relationship, in order to know what your boundaries are, you must first discover what your boundaries are by coming across people who push the boundaries. And you go, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't want that. And you move on, you find new people, and you say, this is what I like. This is what I don't like. And you just move on from there. Okay? If you just hide in your house and never put yourself out there, you're not going to find anybody because you're not going outside. And take it from me as a homebody, okay? Like, you got to go where the people are to find the people. Unfortunately, the perfect person of your dreams is not just going to show up at your door, knock on the door, and go, let's get married. That would be creepy, and you should call the cops. No, that's its own red flag, right? But like, if you go out and you find the people that you're like, I never want to do that again, right? It's easier to find the person that you're like, that's the person for me. Because your answer comes in trial by fire. It comes from the experience. I know, could you imagine if that's how that worked? Like your soulmate just arrived at your house. How would you know which one was going to come to your house? Like, are you supposed to go to their house? Are they supposed to come to your house? How would that work? Could you imagine? Like, I know they have the red string theory, but like, the more I think about if we could see the red strings of fate and all of that, the more I'm like, actually, I'm better knowing that I don't know. I'm better knowing that I can't see that red string. Because sometimes knowing is not sometimes knowing information is kind of a burden. The door in the reverse. Yeah, you feel like you can't go through the door. Oh my gosh, I said this before in another live, right? It's like we're looking at the door and we're thinking that we need to do all this intricate puzzle work in order to open the door, but we're not even trying to just open the door handle and see if it opens. It's the classic D&D, the arch nemesis of the players is the door. I need to go through and do all this stuff, check for traps. Maybe there's a hidden meaning in this gem. Maybe there's a riddle inside of the awning. Maybe I need to do something with all these numbers. And then you have the one person who just tries the handle and it's not even locked and it just opens. And everyone stands around feeling like an idiot. We don't talk about it for the next 3 years. That's what it feels like. It's like the door has been presented, but we're so busy trying to understand the door and make sure that we don't even try to open it and walk through. I have to check it for traps. I have to make absolutely sure this is the correct door before I go through, instead of just trying the handle. Because if you try the handle and it's locked, well, you can't go through the door. Then you can go into, oh, well, maybe I should like pick the lock or try to do a puzzle, but we never try just the simple solution. Oh man, if you ever want to feel really dumb, just watch, what was that show they used to do? Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Actually, don't watch that. You'll feel dumb. Yeah, the priest and the fool. And the stairway. Okay. So what this says, right? You're already connected to your intuition, right? The fact that you're even trying to manifest things and you're aware that you have a shadow side and you're actively trying to manifest it means you're already connected. Everyone's already connected. We just kind of forget how to listen, right? You're already connected. You see all that beautiful red here? That's passion. That's passion and motivation. You already have passion and motivation for something. There's something that lights your soul on fire, right? There's something calling to you. You're already tuned in, right? That Fool, that new beginning. We're not quite sure. We don't really know yet. This new beginning, you see how he has so much stuff inside of his bag that it's falling out, and he doesn't even care. He's not stopping to pick it up. Look at that key. There's that key again. He's got all this abundance here, all this stuff. And we can't really see that, right? And sure, as we go through that stairway, as we continue forward in this little beginning here, yeah, it's going to get a little harder. We're going to come across new things, right? Just like in a video game, as you progress to a new level, things get harder because it's a new level. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. That doesn't mean that it's that doesn't mean that like you shouldn't pursue it. It's okay for things to get harder. That means you're growing. That just means you're growing. Okay? It means you're growing. And they say new levels, new devils. And I find that so interesting because that implies that everything on that level is out to get you when they aren't, right? But it does ring true a little bit. New levels means new lessons, right? If it was all the same lesson, we wouldn't be going anywhere. We would just be staying on the same piece of floor, you know? And the shield. Yeah, you'll have that protection. You'll have the protection, okay? You're already protected. You're already on your path. We already saw it here. We already saw it here with the ancestors, and we already saw it with defense. Protection. It's already there. It's already there. You're already protected. You're here thinking that you're trapped in a dungeon, you can't get out, you can't go anywhere. But in reality, you're in front of a bridge. You're in front of a bridge that the divine gave you. To the ship. To the ship. To the journey. They're providing you the bridge. Go through the door. Try to handle. It's not complex. You're not trapped in the dungeon with all of its traps. Go through the door. It leads to the bridge that takes you on the ship. Okay? Pick a thing. Go through the door or don't go through the door. You decide. Stay in the dungeon or cross the bridge. It's your decision. Okay? So, that is all I have for you, my friend. I hope that helps. Yeah. If you want a personal reading, I offer those at the link in my bio. If you're watching from YouTube, when I post this later, the link is in the description below. Thank you so much for allowing me into your energy, for allowing me to be your reader. Again, check out that link. I provide readings here. The number of cards relates to the tarot cards, right? So it'll say like 3-card reading, but it doesn't mean you just get 3 cards, okay? That's the 3 tarot cards. You also get the advice oracle cards, the dice, the runes, the charms, any synchronicities, messages, channeled songs that I get. You get all of that, okay? So it includes everything you see here. I'm eventually going to offer video readings like this. I just haven't figured out how to make that work just yet, but I will get there. So feel free to check that out, see if I vibe with you. If I don't, and this is the last that I see of you, thank you again for allowing me your time and your energy. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, that you have a beautiful holiday tomorrow if you celebrate it. If not, I hope you have a beautiful Thursday. I wish you all the love, joy, peace, luck, abundance, and healing on your journey. And if you have chosen to follow me and you do vibe with me, I wish all the same for you as well. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. You're welcome, Badaka. Bye, guys. Oh, wait. Last one. I will not be live tomorrow because I will be with family. So Normally I do Monday through Thursday, excuse me. I normally do Monday through Thursday, but because tomorrow's a holiday, I will not be going live, okay? Just letting y'all know. But yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. You have a beautiful holiday if you celebrate it. If not, I just hope you have a beautiful rest of your weekend, and I will catch all of you on Monday. Bye-bye.